So as I said, our next topic would be EF chord rules, right? So EF chord rule, where EF means Edger-Frank chord rules. So the first thing, there are two, as I said, there are 12 rules. There are 12 rules, right? And it starts from 0. So basically 13 rules. Yeah. So first thing, keep in mind. So basically I'll not tell you all the 12 rules. I'll just introduce you to the important rules which we need to further move on with the SQL thing, right? So the data entered into the cell, remember the cell is this part, right? Remember? So the interaction of uh, record, which is row and column, is your cell. So this is a cell. So the data entered into the cell must be single value. Okay. Suppose I have a column name. So it can't be like Kinjal, Shikha. Okay. It has to be like Kinjal, then Shikha. Okay. So first thing is that it should be single valued. Second, all data should be stored in the form of tables, right? Including metadata. Remember why in the form of table? Because it is RDBMS whose rules is given by EF chord. Okay. Now let's understand what is metadata, right? So suppose this is a name column, this is age column, this is gender column. Okay. X, Y, Z, P, Q, R, and 5, 26, 27, and male, or female. Okay. Now, what is metadata? The data which describes what type of columns and records a table hold. Okay. See, we have a table here. Okay, employee table, which has an employee ID, employee's first name, employee's last name, and a department ID. Okay. Let's consider only these things. So, what is this metadata will hold? So it is something like this. So it will give all the columns you have, your employee ID, your first name, your last name, like that. Okay. So what is the data type of this employee ID? Data type means what kind of data this employee ID holds. So can we see it hold like something like numbers, right? Number, you can see it is like numbers type of data it is holding. First name is holding something like string, right? And last name is also something like string, right? So the our table data is also has some metadata. Metadata is nothing, it is just describing what type of data our table holds, right? So this is what metadata looks like. Okay. Now um, coming to the next thing. So according to EF chord, we store data in multiple tables, and if we require, we can establish a connection between the using the key attribute. Okay. So just for the time being, you understand this. Like this is one table you have, right? And suppose you have one more column here, which is a ID. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And you have one more table which also has ID column and department column. Okay, so your department 1 and 2, your this is IT, this is uh, this is IT, this is HR, suppose. Okay, this is your HR, this is your HR. Now, how we can connect these two tables? How we can connect? Using this key, right? This ID key, right? We can connect these two tables. We can establish a connection between these two tables using a attribute, right? I told you column is nothing but an attribute or property. So using this attribute, we can create a connection between these two tables. So this attribute is nothing but the key attribute. Okay. Okay. So the fourth thing is data can be validated using two steps. So what is data here? The complete table is our data here, right? How can we validate? Validate means like to make sure the data entered into the columns are valid, right? Like suppose in name column, if I add 1, 2, 3, it doesn't make any sense, right? So to avoid all these things, we need to validate our data, right? How we can validate it? First, by assigning the data type, and second, by assigning your constraints. Okay, so there are five types of data types. Okay, we have five types of data types. There are more, but basically right now, just for the basic, we'll go for these five data types. Okay, so in the next video we'll understand data types.